Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 5 of Connections Restored TV, an affiliate of the Bill and Callie Show Network. My name is Amiee Boswinkle, and I am so incredibly excited to share with you today about how trauma and crisis can affect relationships. For those of you who are new to the audience, my name is Amiee Boswinkle, and I am an intuitive. I am a teacher. I help women in business to activate their mindset potential. And I also help people who suffer from trauma, PTSD, and addictions create peace within their mind so they find it in their life. And what I want to start off with today, so how we can understand how the brain is working whenever we're under a lot of trauma or crisis. I want to take you guys to a space of understanding what's actually going on inside right here. Because if you guys are anything like me and you've suffered a lot of trauma in your life, then it's easy for us to go into those PTSD states. And if those of you who have watched previous episodes, you've heard me talk about the third level of beta brainwave activity. And if you don't know what that is, I highly encourage you go back and watch some of the other episodes. You can tag me in the comments and I'll make sure that I find those episodes for you. But what is occurring in the brain to someone who's experienced a lot of trauma, or even if you're experiencing trauma right now with the current consciousness that we're all in right now. And this current consciousness, for those of you who may be watching this replay sometime in the future, is we're going through the COVID-19 pandemic. And as the brain is taking in a lot of what feels like trauma and fear and crisis and what we don't know is it creates a lot of feelings in our body. And whenever we're experiencing a lot of feelings in our body and something is going on prolonged, which here where I live in Northwest Indiana, we just got the order that we're going to be continuing the stay at home for another month, right? So now people are required to stay at home unless they need essentials for an even longer period of time. And in the beginning, it caused some ruckus and we felt uncomfort around it. And then we kind of got used to it. And then the day comes and we're waiting for the announcement that we can become free again. And it doesn't come. We get the notice that we're going to be under the lockdown a little bit longer, right? So it's compounding feelings. What's going on inside of the brain right now is now we're compounding feelings, right? And the brain and the body's only function of the brain and the central nervous system is to keep your human body alive. It only knows life or death. And because feelings can be so intense, especially for those of us who have suffered trauma, PTSD in any way, shape, or form. And those of us who are experiencing it for maybe a very intense way for the first time in our life, and we're not dealing with it by taking better care of ourselves, by practicing self-care, because we practiced it at first for a little bit because we thought that this pandemic would end soon. And now it's going on for an even more prolonged period of time. And what I can tell you, friends, is that most people don't know how to be with just themselves because their mind is over addictively thinking thoughts. So they don't know how to just be. It's a place that many of us know, right? So that as we're getting this new information, these feelings that we felt at first, that were fear or anxiety or anger or whatever it was, right? Now they're being compounded. We're getting more feelings on top of that. So those feelings are causing a ruckus, right? Because intense feelings don't feel good. Intense feelings, friends, are uncomfortable. And to the body, when we feel uncomfortable, it feels like it's about to die. And really, right, it's just that we're uncomfortable. If we're just really take that step back and you really hear the message that I'm trying to express to each and every one of you right now is that we're just uncomfortable. And we feel uncomfortable because those feelings are so intense. But really, all feelings are signals. They're signals that something are in alignment with something in our life, or we're out of alignment with something in our life. Something doesn't feel good. It's just a all feelings really signify is that we're alive, right? If we have feelings, it means we're alive. But most of us who have gone through a lot of trauma and are experiencing crisis right now, and we're really narrowly focused on all of the problems and all of the things that we're missing out on in life, we're going to compound those feelings and make them even more intense. We're going to compound those feelings and make them even bigger than what they are. Right. And so now we're causing a signal inside of our central nervous system that feels like we're on shaky ground. Right. We feel like we're experiencing an earthquake inside of our own body. And really, it's not that you're unsafe, because most of us are safe. Maybe not all people. I do understand that some people are losing their homes and not being able to feed themselves and their families, and there are resources for that. And if that's the place that you're in, please make sure you reach out to me. I do have places that I can direct you to give you resources if you're experiencing financial difficulties or experiencing bringing food into your household. There are those people, but for most of us, we do have our basic needs met and we are healthy. So really, it's not that we're unsafe. It's just that we're uncomfortable. And here's the thing about being uncomfortable, friends. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes to feel uncomfortable. So what does all of this have to do with relationships? You might be asking, what does this have to do with relationships, Amy? The most important relationship any single one of us on this planet is going to have is our relationship to ourself. We are the most relationship in this experience. And I want you to think about it. If you are experiencing your life with another person or other people, and you are feeling off balance, out of sorts, living in fear, focusing on all of your problems, and you're having all these feelings inside of you, and this is how you're feeling, your significant other that's in your life, whoever that is, I'm just going to use some very broad terms here instead of husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Your significant other, and perhaps you have children living with you. If you're feeling that way, take a step back and really be with me right now, friends. What is the experience of life your significant other is feeling, if that's the way that you feel, and that's what's coming out of you? If what's coming out of you is fear and everything's going wrong and we don't have this and there's lack and there's whatever, right? Then that other important person in our life is experiencing life the same way as you are, because that's what they see. And is that experience of life happy? Is it productive? Is it healthy? What choices are you, if it's unhealthy, right? If you're like, no, Amy, that's not healthy. We're feeding off of each other, right? Maybe you're realizing this for the first time. It isn't healthy emotionally. You might not be making the best food choices to give you the highest vibrational energy. You may not be drinking enough water. These all sound like really simple things, but when people are in crisis, they don't think about the basics. They think about everything that's going wrong in their life. And then now you're compounding that experience because that's the way that you feel. And you're bringing your significant other or your children or whoever's important into that experience with you. And now you're compounding the problem even more because you guys are feeding off of one another. And it could be as simple as this: practicing more self-care. What are you doing for yourself, friends? If you are the most important relationship on this planet, your relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you should be having. What are you giving to yourself? Are you giving to yourself fear, worry, lack, not enough, unworthy, not good enough? Well, then it makes total sense that's what you're giving to the other important people in your life. Now I want you to put you in a different frame of mind. Thank you for tracking with me, friends. I really appreciate you because this message is near and dear to my heart. This message can, honest to goodness, change lives. And if you feel so called to share this message with your friends because it's really speaking to you, it might speak to them. Because my mission is impact and creating massive change on this planet so people have an understanding of what they're going through. So now I want to take you to the space of when you're having a good relationship with yourself, when you're feeling your best, when you've been practicing some self-care, maybe you've been going to the gym a little more often. I know we can't go to the gym right now, right? But think about when you've been at a space in your life where you've been happy. Maybe you went on that vacation that you really wanted to go on and you're feeling really good, right? You're feeling good inside. You're feeling happy. You're feeling joyful. You're feeling grateful. You're feeling appreciative. And you're having this really good relationship with yourself where you're like, gosh, I feel amazing. And that significant other in your life, because you're feeling amazing, you're creating an experience, right? Because you're in so much joy, because you're in so much happiness that significant other, right? You can be with them in that experience. And this is a space where I bet if those of you who can call up a memory, right? It's about a memory. You can look back in your timeline where you're like, oh, that was the best time. That was the best time ever. We were so happy. It was amazing. And it came from where you were in that moment. It didn't come from another person. When we feel happy and we feel at our best, and we're presenting ourselves as our best self because we're loving ourselves fully, because we're giving ourselves those most basic needs, water, food that actually makes our body feel good. Because when most people are in trauma and stress and crisis, they're reaching out for food that actually take their energy away. I'm not here to bash anyone's type of eating. What I like to encourage for people is connecting to food as energy, food as fuel, right? And that for me, food that takes my energy away is heavy food that I like pizza, right? But if I have too much pizza, I allow myself certain things, but I also know my body. And if I'm having too much pizza, if I'm having it every night for 5 days in a row, I'm going to feel really heavy and really bogged down. And I'm not going to be sleeping well because I'm feeling heavy and bogged down and my body doesn't want to move. Right. So it's the basics. What foods give you energy? What foods take your energy away? We get to have treats, friend. I'm not here. Like I said, I don't like telling people what they should eat or what they shouldn't eat. What I like to connect people to is their body's own innate wisdom of what gives their body energy versus what takes that energy away from them with their food choices. Are you giving yourself 5 minutes a day where you can journal and calm down that high level of beta brainwaves? And if you aren't, why, what makes it so important that you forget? And you might be like, well, that's a weird question, Amiee. Well, that's the truth. Things are either important to us, friends, or they're not. That's the bottom line. It's either a priority or it isn't. And either space is fine. I'm not here to judge you. I hope you don't judge yourself. I just desire to give you clarity. Because if you want the best possible life during times of crisis and trauma, it means being kinder to yourself. It means letting go of the things that are actually self-abusive, like telling ourselves that we're not worthy and we're not good enough and we're angry and we're mean and we're stupid or we're fat or we're ugly or whatever the stories are. And recognizing that there's a part of our brain that is loading up a past memory of our trauma or crisis, or it's only focused on all of the lack right now, instead of being like, and really what's happening is that we just feel uncomfortable. We're not unsafe. Most of us are not unsafe right now. We're just uncomfortable, and there's a difference. Nobody likes to feel uncomfortable, friend. No one. And the only one who has the power to overcome that is you. And that depends on how important, what the priority is of you deciding that you want to have as good of a relationship with yourself as you can possibly have. Because what I've realized in my life of overcoming trauma and PTSD and addictions and all sorts of havoc, right? I'm 1 in a million. The things that I have walked through, I shouldn't be alive, but I am. The universe has put me here talking to all of you for a reason. I got to live because I overcame something, and you can too. I am living proof that you are a miracle too. You are a living miracle. And that is either important to you or it isn't. I don't like it when people are suffering. A huge part of my brand and my business is unconditional love and kindness and creating connection by being human to another person. That's important to me. That is really important to me. And I could not have arrived here without going through all of the struggles that I went through. And it is a privilege and an honor to be able to share this information with all of you. So I want you guys to think about this. And I want you to give it some serious thought. And either choice is okay. You're not bad. You're not wrong. You're worthy. You're lovable. You've always been good enough. But what type of a relationship with yourself do you desire to continue to have? And what do you need to do to change if you don't like who you're being? What can you give yourself for 5 minutes a day to give yourself those basic needs? Because I bet that there's a lot of people in this audience who are going to watch this video being like, oh, I haven't been drinking enough water. Because water allows us to think more clearly, right? It gives our body the things that it needs to function properly. It allows all of your organs to regenerate. It allows you to sleep better at night. It allows the anxiety to calm down. There's a lot of benefits to water. And if you don't know how much water you should be drinking about half of your body weight in ounces of water. So a 100-pound person should be drinking about 50 ounces of water a day. What food are you putting into your body? Is it giving you energy or is it taking it away? What self-care are you giving yourself? Are you journaling? Are you meditating? Even if it's just for 5 minutes, everybody has 5 minutes, no matter how busy you are. I'm very busy. The Bill and Callie Show Network's very busy. You're very busy, but we can all find 5 minutes if that relationship to yourself is important enough to have. And I thank you, friends, for your time today. Those are the things that I desire that you think about if this is important for you to overcome right now. And if it's not, please don't judge yourself. It's okay. We're all exactly right where we're supposed to be, and I won't stop showing up for you. And if this video touched you, touched your heart, if it helped you, then I guarantee that there are people in your audience that this video will serve too. And it is my mission, as what I believe myself to be, as an angel here to help others. I do believe that the universe allowed me to come and overcome what I did and continue to live to share with people suffering, because I know what that's like. It does not feel good. It would mean so much to me, not only for me, but to spread the word and the message of what Bill and Callie Network, the Bill and Callie Show Network represents to the community and the world at large as well, because they have the same mission of impact. They have an event coming up of the top musicians who are really riveting and opening up people's hearts and right, because there's a lot of people who are depressed right now because they have to stay home longer. There's another very special event that they're creating that I know is really going to lift you up, because as Bill was telling me about it earlier before the show started, I thought, gosh, that really is going to make a difference, and it's really going to get people's minds off of their problems, and it's really going to light up people's lives. They do things like that every day, friends, and it is an honor. It is an honor that I got chosen to represent this part of their show, because our mission as the Bill and Callie Show Network, and me just being an affiliate, is impact. So I thank you for all of your time today, friends. I love you all so much. I want you all to remember how worthy you are, how amazing you are, how loved you are. And if you can't feel that love inside of you, if you feel like that there is nobody on this planet who can love you, I want you to know there is a person on this planet that loves you more than you could ever know. And maybe we'll never meet in real life, but I think of you every single day, and I hold you in my heart because I love you that much. And if you are suffering in any way, friend, please feel free to reach out to me. You can like my business page, Connections Restored, or you can personally friend request me and reach out to me. I talk to everyone who reaches out to me because, as I said, I stand for unconditional love, kindness, creating connection through being a decent and kind human being. And I do care. Thank you so much for your time, friends. It has been such an honor and a pleasure to speak with all of you today. Take care.
This episode of The Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by... For over 28 years, Creative Carpet and Flooring has provided not only one of the largest selections of carpet and flooring in the area, but also customer service that exceeds expectations. Featuring leading brands like Mohawk, Stanton, and Shaw, their friendly and knowledgeable staff is there to help you choose the products that are right for you and are available to help answer any questions along the way. Once you become a client, you'll get newsletters recognizing new customers, offering contests, sales, and special thank you incentives for referrals. Creative Carpet and Flooring, with locations in Mokina, Illinois and Highland, Indiana. A family-owned business providing great products and service to families like yours.